Who would have thought the Trump token is crashing, and still, even though all those politically inspired tokens, Melania, Trump, are going down, they are still the largest of the trending tokens on Solana in terms of capital that's deployed. Have a look at this table here. This is the trending tokens on Solana ordered by the liquidity pool size, and Fartcoin is at number 3 and still just 1/10 of the size of Melania. The official Trump token is almost 3 times the size of Melania. Now, we talked about Trump early on this channel when the price was still at $13. It then made a massive rally fueled by leverage and perpetual futures and market maker adoption, which was then deflated all of the sudden with the launch of the Melania token. People then moved over their Trump money to Melania. So we're currently at $33, and the big question in everybody's mind is, does it make sense to buy after a drop of more than 50%? Now, crypto is all about being early. It's about doing the things that most people are not doing. And in the wallet alerts of this channel, so that's available for the premium members down below, the bitcoinstrader.com, we had an alert on Trump that Kyle Chessy bought the Trump token at $10. So here's Kyle Chessy. He's got 143,000 subscribers. I'm talking about him relatively frequently on this channel. And we know that he bought because we are tracking several of his wallets. We always get alerts whenever he's buying and selling. Now, the premium community of this channel is not the only community that does wallet tracking. There's another YouTube channel that just focused on wallet tracking. And that's Across the Rubicon. And they had been even faster this time. They bought Trump at $3.36. So that was over here, right? And the price subsequently went up by 1,700%. Here's their YouTube channel. Feel free to check out their tracking as well. They're pretty switched on. And yeah, we've seen purchases across the board. We've also seen very early purchases of Melania. Check this out. This is Champ. He bought Melania at 44 cents. Here is his YouTube channel, also a very similar following size, 142,000. CryptoGain subsequently bought as well for $2.87. And yeah, when you're buying below $1 or even for $2, subsequently, it's very hard to lose money. After CryptoGains bought, we went up by almost 500%. But the situation is very similar to what we're seeing with Trump. After the initial pump, we saw a subsequent dump. Here is CryptoGains channel, and here are the wallets that we track by CryptoGains. More than 55, because he's changing wallets quite often. Again, all of this tracking is down below, right? It's thebitcoinstrader.com. We're tracking more than 400 influencer wallets. And so since there's now blood in the streets, does it make sense to pick up the pieces? What we see over here is a list of meme coins, and the official Trump token is now half the size of Shiba Inu. It's very close to Pepe now. Since Melania crashed even more, it's further down this list. It's close to Notcoin and AIXBT. Let's have a look at some on-chain metrics. Since there's still so much liquidity of both tokens on-chain, we can have a look at who's currently buying and who's currently selling. Now, the vast majority of liquidity is already with the centralized exchanges, but still it's useful to analyze the momentum. Have a look at the purchases of Trump through the Moonshot application. Now, Moonshot is a platform to buy tokens via credit card directly. When the token launched, we initially saw a lot of purchases with Moonshot, and then when America slept, that tended to go down a lot. Once they woke up again, they purchased again. But the overall trend is clear, especially retail that bought one day after launch, they got wrecked. Here we've got the buying and selling volume of the official Trump token over time. Of course, initially there was more buying volume than selling volume. Then we saw the market makers entering the space, deploying all of their trading bots. And then at 9 p.m. UTC on the 19th of January, we had our first wave of selling. This was when Melania was launched. The trading volume is of course more volatile because there's a lot of automated trading as well. The number of wallets isn't that volatile. Again, at the beginning, we've got an overhang of buyers versus sellers. So the blue bars are larger than the green bars. And then yesterday at 5 p.m. UTC, we had our first real sell wave. The Trump token is clearly consolidating after an initial wave of adoption. Now, how much money did the successful traders make here? Have a look at this table and feel free to go to dune.com and search for OLAD official Trump coin. Then you can get the exact same addresses. And what might be most interesting are the addresses that did buy. So not the ones that just got an allocation, but the addresses that did do purchases and that at the same time realized a lot of their gains. So let's say you made 16 million of profit with only buying 200K. that seems to be a pretty good trader. So it might make sense to also wallet track holders like this. And that's something we're also now in the process of building up for the Bitcoin Strategy Premium membership, right? Currently, we're only tracking influencers, but tracking top traders, right? Traders that made a lot of money in the past. They also have a higher likelihood of making money in the future. And so those two wallets are probably quite useful, especially when there is a lot of realized gain, not just unrealized gain, because then we don't just get good buying signals, we also get proper selling signals. Wallets like this here are less impressive because they had to buy 121 million in order to realize a profit of less than 10%. Now let's have a look at Melania. Here everything happened a bit faster. The buyer overhang stopped already after 7 to 8 hours and now it's mainly sellers. It's also interesting to compare the trading volume. For example, there was 6 billion worth of trading volume for Trump and 5.6 billion of trading volume of Melania. Now, given that Melania is way smaller than the Trump token, I believe that simply means that the adoption by the centralized exchanges of Melania is still comparatively low. So a lot of trading volume for Trump happens now on the Binances of this world. That's not yet true for Melania. Thus, I believe that buying the bottom in Melania in case you want to speculate on a centralized exchange listing might make more sense, especially because now the price is more depressed. The swap numbers do make sense. So there's 1.5 million swaps for Melania and 5.6 million swaps for Trump. Here's the trading volume for Trump segmented by different wallet cohorts. And we can see how over time the whales are moving their balance to the centralized exchanges and only the smaller wallets now trade on chain. We can also see how the number of holders on chain tends to now decline over time, again, because people are either selling or they're moving their balance to centralized exchanges. So on the left side, we see the number of wallets with 30 Trump tokens. That's $1,000. In the middle, it's $10,000. On the right, it's $100,000. And the whales tend to move or sell the quickest. On chain, only 0.8% of the supply is now held by wallets that have less than $100,000 worth of the token. For Melania, it's pretty much the same picture. The whales are already moving their balance to the centralized exchanges, not as quickly as for the Trump token, but that makes sense because we don't yet have as many listings. The number of holders is also going down. So this is again a token equivalent that's equal to $1,000, $10,000 and $100,000. And just compare the numbers. So for Trump, we've got 92,000 retail wallets. And for Melania, we've got 22,000. So it's roughly a 4x difference. For the whales, we've got more than 2,000 holders on chain. So that's for Trump. And for Melania, that's only 373. So the whales tend to hold, comparatively speaking, more of Trump than of Melania. Melania is, comparatively speaking, more held by the retail investor, while Trump is more held by the whales. And so I believe over time, more and more of the liquidity on chain for Trump and Melania will move to the centralized exchanges. The market makers are going to buy the token as well. And since Melania crashed the most, there's probably also more upside potential. Of course, it's always better to be early, right? To buy those tokens when they get launched for just a few dollars or a few cents. That's why there is the premium membership. That's why we've got the wallet tracking. But I also try to be early publishing videos on this channel. So if you don't want to miss out on that, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to also give this a like in case you got some value out of this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video or in premium. Cheers!